Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka BillyIndiana. Today I'm going to do a quick recap of 2024. I'm not going to include any top 10 lists yet. I'm still working on those, but hope to put those up online soon. This time I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the changes that our family experienced in the last year, the game stats, games played, what kind of games that just hit the table here and the computer, and a little bit about what's coming ahead in 2025, or at least what I hope will be happening in 2025. So if you're curious to hear about these reflections, stay tuned. So 2024 had some big changes for my family. My wife and I moved up from Southern California, where we had been living and working for the last 6 years, to near Seattle in the Bonnie Lake area, kind of close to Puyallup, working at a new school and settling in to be a little bit closer to family. Both of our daughters and all 6 of our grandkids live up here. And so we've enjoyed this transition, a lot more time with the kids and grandkids, but it did mean moving away from my gaming group and some of the friends that we had that we did a lot of gaming with. And so the changes have resulted are I haven't played nearly as many games, especially physical copies. Both my wife and I have new teaching roles, and she also has an administrative role at the school we're at. So it's also meant we've played a lot fewer games together. And so overall, it's meant a lot less games played, still looking for a game group, and more games played online through Steam and BGA. So it's been kind of the big change in the gaming. But we're really grateful for the opportunity to be with our kids and grandkids more. We've seen them so much more this year and had so much more fun spending Thanksgiving and Christmas with all of us together. So we're really grateful for the changes, but it has affected our gaming hobby. So I want to quickly go through some of the stats. I'm going to use BGG and also Geek Group to show you some of that. So here we are on BGG, and you can see from January through December 2024, these are the games that I played. You can see Bonsai was the most played, and then Mysticana, a foundation deck, and that's maybe a little misleading because it's sort of a bunch of games in one, and I just put them all under this heading, but it was to try to do a preview for the Kickstarter project, and there were several sub-games within that. Cartographer is still playing significantly, frequently. Trio also was one of the new games that we got to. Fantasy Form is another one that did a preview for their Kickstarter. Castles of Burgundy, I think most of those games, I think maybe twice was live with a physical form, the new special edition. Might have been 3 times, and the rest was on Steam. Stupor Mundi, I've backed on, I think it was Kickstarter, GameFound, one of those two, I can't remember which, and I played it a lot on BGA. And then you can kind of see, I won't go through this whole list, there were lots and lots of games, but you can kind of scroll through and see some of my favorite games of all time. Dune Imperium got to the table a few times. Hamburg is one of my new favorites. I had played Bruges and really enjoyed Hamburg. Amritsar was a surprise for me. I hadn't really heard much about it, but a friend brought it over and I ended up buying that game from him. So and played it with my wife. We both really enjoyed that. Just got it to the table those 2 times before we moved from Southern California. A lot of games played with the grandkids, Diced Veggies, the memory game, Turtle Splash, Wildlife Safari, lots of games with the grandkids, which has been a lot of fun. Played Blood Rage for the first time ever, played Kalimala for the first time ever, and lots of games, as I said, both live and online. I got to play the Lagranja, I can never remember the correct way to pronounce that, Deluxe Master Set. Finally got that off the shelf. And played that one. So also played Gnome Hollow, but just online. I ordered it, but it's connected with another game that's kind of on pre-order. So I'm still waiting to receive that. So those are some of the first level games in terms of first screen. We come to the second screen, and then you can see all these are just one play each. Enjoyed playing It Happens with the grandkids. Enjoyed getting Java to the table for the first time. That was a fun game. Life of Amazonia was a nice one. Lord of the Rings, Duel for Middle-earth. My wife and I have actually played that a couple more times in 2025 already, even though it's just less than a week into the year. On Mars, one of my favorites. Pax Pamir, also another one of my favorites. Enjoy getting that back to the table. Planet Unknown, another one. Terraforming Mars is one of my wife's favorites, and so, yeah, enjoying all of those games and getting those to the table. Some of them new, some of them old, and, yeah, that's kind of a quick summary of the games that I've played. Now, one of the sites that I enjoy using to kind of reflect on my stats is this geek group site. There's a few things that seem to be a little off in terms of this overview. For instance, when I count them up on BGG, I get 353 plays, but they say there's 356. It's not much. I think the 101 is correct and the 158 is correct, but just a little bit different in terms of the total plays. And then on the plus 10 times, it says there's 4 games, and here it says there's 14 that I played 5 or more. But when I look on BGG, my 5 and dime isn't quite that much. So let's go back to that real quick and look at the 5 and dime. If you haven't used some of these kind of researching tools here, you can see in my 5 and dime, Bonsai, Mysticana, Cartographers, and Trio were all played more than 10 times. Fantasy Forum, The Castles of Burgundy, Stupermundi, Hoppy Salmon, Magnetism. I think that's actually called Cluster. I mentioned that in my review of games we played in December, and someone that watched the video said they think that that game I was describing as Cluster, not this one. So I might have miscalculated or miscategorized it on BGG. First in Flight, Flip 7, Garden Geckos, Harmonies, and Small World. So those are my 5 and dime, and that is, I think, accurate. Not quite sure why it's slightly off here on those stats, but everything else I've seen on this app seems to kind of connect with BGG and summarize it quite well. And I'm not going to go through all of the features of this site, but it'll help you estimate the value of your collection. It shows my collection is 713, but that's including expansions, previously owned games. I think I'm around 350 actually for games on the shelf here at the home, which is a lot, but not quite as much as it shows there. And then it shows 2,475 games that I've played since I started the BillyIndiana account a few years ago. And here it shows your most played. You can click on these to kind of zoom in more. And like I said, this part's accurate. When I look down through these, there's my 4 that I played more than 10 times. And then you can see here's the just the 10 that I played, or what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, just the 10 that I've played 5 or more times. So it shows it accurately here. Sometimes, somehow it's just those overviews. But there's some interesting things like what is the average weight of the games that I played and what is the game duration. And then down here you can see these are the games in the top 100 that I played. So Terraforming Mars was the top rated game that I played this year, and you can kind of click level by level and see the thumbnails. So you can see it's kind of interesting. Lord of the Rings, Duel for Middle Earth, already 112th ranked game. Harmony is already 134th, 2 games new this year. And then you can see kind of other stats here. The lowest ranked game I played was 27,716th. I forget which game that was. It's like Yahtzee or something. It's you can also scroll down here. I guess we can find it. We scroll all the way down. What is that 27,000th rated game that I played? Here it is. So we click that. Yep, it was Yahtzee, 27,007. So, oh, actually, it looks like there's some further down. Here we go. Lowest ranked game. Sorry. Okay, Sorry and Kerplunk. Oh, Guess Who? Those are a couple games played with the grandkids. It's kind of interesting to see. You can see some interesting stats on publish year, designers, publishers, the categories of games, your H-index. So for me, my H-index now is up to 20. Played 20 games 20 times. Where you played the games, and there's a lot of more detail. It kind of compiles a lot of stats. Although, like I said, a few of them maybe not quite accurately, but most of it that I've seen is pretty accurate, and it's fun to check out some of these stats if you like stats. So those are some of the things that I wanted to highlight in terms of game stats, and also show this geek group website. All right, now in terms of games that I still want to play, there are several games from 2024, and this is why I'm still haven't put together my 2024 top 10 list of games. There's a few that are in-house that I'd like to try to play first before I make my rankings. I don't know if I'll get to all of them because I don't want to wait too late in the year, but we'll see. And then there's some games I just haven't had a chance to either purchase or play somebody else's copy. And so I'm going to kind of run through those real quickly. The first 5, these are ones I have at home and just haven't played yet. I've unboxed Unconscious Mind. I have it out on the table ready to go. Just haven't got around to playing it. We've been playing other games with the family, and this is kind of one of the next ones on the horizon that I hope to get to the table. Another one is Rise and Fall. This is another Kickstarter arrival that came this year. Really looking forward to playing this game by Christoph Bollinger. Really looks like a beautiful game, but yeah, just haven't had a chance to get it off the shelf. Haven't even unwrapped it yet. I think it was one of those that came right before we moved, and just haven't even had a chance to. But it's got some really incredible table presence that I'm looking forward to checking out. Another one that came right before we moved was Huang, another Reiner Knizia game that I think it's based on the classics Tigris and Euphrates and Yellow and Yangtze. And so I'm excited to get this one to the table. I actually have it right beside me over here, getting ready to unbox finally. Another one that came right in that transition summertime when we were some in Southern California where we lived, sometimes in Santa Barbara where we were doing research, and sometime up here in Seattle when we moved. So a lot of things just got boxed up. Two more that I have in-house. Nassau, haven't unboxed that one yet. A Stefan Feld game and the City Collection from Queen Games. And then Kathmandu. And then Nassau, I think, is based on Rum and Pirates. Here we go. But Kathmandu, I think, is a new game from Stefan Feld. So those are both still in wrap. Need to get them unboxed and tried. So those are 5 games I have in the house that have come in the summer, fall, winter months, and just haven't had a chance to get them to the table. So those are ones that are 2024 releases I have and would like to play. There's a bunch more games from 2024 that I really like to play that I don't own. And so Civolution is another one that's a Stefan Feld game. You can tell I really tend to enjoy Stefan Feld games, so I'm always excited to play those. This is one that I don't own, haven't ordered. I have so many unplayed games that I'm not really in the realm of ordering anything new right now. But I would love to play this one at some point, maybe at one of the cons that I hope to attend. Shackleton Base is another one that I've heard great reviews from, so love to try that one from Sorry We Are French Games. Windmill Valley, Danny Garcia. A lot of people really loving this game. I think it's kind of on the lighter end of some of his games, but still in that medium weight level, so love to try that one. SETI was another big hit this year from Czech Games Edition, and from Thomas Holek. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce his name, but he had 3 big releases this year, and 2 of them I'd really love to play. The next one is Galileo Galilei, and that's also from Thomas Holek, but from Pink Troubadour Games. So excited about that one. He also has another one, Tea Society or Tea Garden, something like that. I maybe a little less interested in that, but would still love to try it. Another one from Garfield Games, Ezra and Nehemiah. Love to try that game. Don't have that one either. Salt Fjord, I've played Santa Maria, don't own it, but would love to try this re-implementation, Salt Fjord, from Aporta Games. And then Rock Hard 1977 is another one. I've heard so many people talk about this game from DeVere, and designed by Jackie Fox, a former rock star herself. And then 2 more, Wondrous Creatures from Bad Comet. This one just has incredible table presence as well, with some really cool magnetic meeples. I think that would be fun to try, and a lot of people are really loving that game. And then Creature Caravan. I tend to like Red Raven games. I held off on backing this one, and kind of in some ways regretting that, because so many people have really loved that game and hitting a lot of tables and gaining a lot of recognition for the high quality of a game that it is. So those are some that I don't have at my house. Hopefully I can play some of them at a con, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. And maybe if I can finally find a gaming group up here in the Washington State area that I live in, then I'd be glad to try some of these games that maybe some other people have in their collections. Now, a couple other things I'm thinking about 2025. There are 2 cons that I plan to go to. I'll mention those in a minute. And then a couple changes in my gaming hobby. One is I'm still looking for a gaming group up here. The schedule has been so busy for me at school that I haven't really had much a chance to look. There are a couple game stores somewhat close to where we live that I might try to see if I can find some people that way. Might use Meetup, but just really haven't had a ton of time for that. And so that's something after we get through this school year and have the summer months, and then in next school year, I'm hoping not to teach overtime, hoping not to teach online classes, and have a normal teaching load, and that might enable me to find a gaming group and actually commit some time to that. So that's something that I see changing. Another is that I have already started to pull back on the number of games that I'm crowdfunding through Kickstarter and GameFound and BackerKit and those kind of sites. Part of the reason is they're getting more and more expensive, and I have had this influx of games in the last year that I'm just having a hard time getting to the table. And so I don't want my shelf of shame to just keep growing. They are getting more expensive, and then I'm up to now 4 games that I'm wondering if I'm ever going to receive. So 3 of them I'm pretty sure I won't. One of them I still hold out hope for, but one of them, and I'm going to share these not for the negativity, but just to see if any of you have any thoughts or ideas, or if you've heard any good news. Hopefully, I'd love to hear about it. This one was from 2019, and I'm pretty sure we're never going to see this one I don't know the whole story behind the family and the company, but Madeira Collector's Edition and expansion. I was really excited for this one. I think the family went through some difficulties. I'm pretty sure the company went under, which is sad. So I'm guessing this game's never going to make it. Chai Tea for Two. I know, again, this family and company has had some troubles. I did get their Chai game, and had issues, but this one, I just haven't heard anything about this one in quite a while. May 2024 was the last update, so I'm guessing this one's just not going to come to fruition either. Another one is Legend Academy. This one, again, pretty excited for, and it was a 2021, I think, is when that one was crowdfunded through GameFound. And again, I think the company just really struggled. I think a lot of these, it kind of was really hit by COVID and all the shipping changes. So I feel for the companies, especially when they've invested so much and some of their companies have failed. I don't know if this Eldorado Games has actually failed or if they're just struggling, but yeah. So I think those three probably will never receive. And then this one I still have hope for, Santa's Workshop Deluxe, but I think Elf Creek Games also has had some trouble. And I know Brent Dickman, it sounds like, and others connected to Elf Creek Games are really doing their best to try to make it come to fruition, and there may be others involved too. So I don't hold any ill will towards any of these companies. I'm just sad that I'm not going to receive them. And now that I'm up to $300 or $400 worth of games that I'm not going to receive, it makes me a little more leery about investing in other ones. And so, yeah, so I think I'll be using crowdfunding much less for a variety of reasons. But if you've heard anything about these four and can offer me some good news, I'd love to hear that. Otherwise, I don't want the comments to become a negative field of comments, so not really needing to hear anything negative. But if you have heard some good news about any of these, I'd love to hear that. All right, other things in 2025. Next weekend, I'm actually planning to go to OrcaCon, and I think I'm only going to be able to go on Saturday just because of other commitments that we have. But hopefully I can be there most of the day Saturday. Looking forward to meeting some other content creators. Our Family Plays Games has been there, and we've chatted a lot on each other's channels over the few years. But looking forward to hopefully meeting them in person, and others that I've met before, haven't met before. Amanda Panda, I think, is going to be there, and several others that I think it would be fun to cross paths with, and hoping just to play some games and check out this convention. I've never been to OrcaCon, so now that we're living close to the area, I think we're like 45 minutes from SeaTac, so looking forward to going there for that Saturday next weekend. If any of you are going to be at OrcaCon next weekend, let me know. I'd love to meet you and maybe get a game in. And then the other one that I'm planning to go to in the fall is World Series of Board Gaming. And the World Series of Board Gaming, I went to the first event that they had a few years ago and was there for most of that weekend. Really loved that experience. And I didn't get a chance to go these last 2 years. The timing wasn't right with my school schedule. But this one's going to be over the weekend again. And so I won't be able to be there for the whole time. But do look forward to being there for hopefully most of Friday, if not all of Friday, all of Saturday, and most of Sunday. So if you haven't heard about World Series of Board Gaming, but you're interested in going, I do have a link down below in the description. You can use a referral link in the description below and use BillyIndiana as the referral code. Appreciate that if you're going to go and would use that. But whether you're going or not, if you're interested in learning more about it, this is a game or a contest where you can see the winnings here. $25,000 to the grand prize winner. There are 16 ring tournament games. I didn't participate in any of the ring tournaments when I went that first year. I just participated in all the outside games, the walk-up games, and the open gaming. And so there's a lot of open gaming available. I had a blast doing that. I won't probably stay at the Horseshoe. I'll probably stay somewhere close by. I found a good place last time that I went up that was really close. And so, yeah, this is, if you're interested, I'll put a link for this down below and you can check it out. I'm excited about the games and the, let's see, the ring games here. And like I said, I'm planning to arrive either Thursday night or early Friday. So I'm planning on just scheduling one game to compete in, and then the rest just be available to play games for fun in the open gaming area, maybe try some of those Phoenix or Outer Ring games. So I don't want to pick one on Friday because I'm not sure I'll be there the whole day. Saturday I will be there the whole day, and these are four terrific games. So I will, Dune Imperium is one of my top 5 games all time, so I'm really tempted to pick that one, but I'm not very good at it, so I don't know. It might just still be fun to play it. Cascade is a much shorter game. Ra is a little bit shorter of a game. Earth can be kind of long, so I'm wondering maybe Cascadia. I've played that one 100 times and love it. I don't know, it's between probably these two, although I wouldn't be sad at playing any of those four if some of them fill up and I have to just pick one. Sunday, I won't be there the whole day. I don't think I'll need to come home that evening, but yeah, so I doubt if I'll pick one. I'd love to play Castles of Burgundy, but I don't think I can commit to being there the whole day Sunday. And I won't be able to be there for the final day on Monday, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm really excited to go to the World Series of Board Gaming again. It was a lot of fun, and excited to be able to attend again in this September. So there you have it, just a quick recap of 2024, some of the changes in our lives, some of the different games I've played, some of the stats, some of the things I'm looking forward to as we start off 2025. I'm hoping to get more games to the table. I'd been averaging around 500 game plays a year and got about 350 or so this year. So still a lot of games. That's, a lot of games every month. And so I'm not sad at the number of games that I played, but do miss having a gaming group, so hopefully I can find a way to connect with the gaming group up here in the Washington area. But yeah, those are some highlights. If you have any questions for me about the games I played, if you have any suggestions for me about those games that I haven't played yet that I really would love to try, let me know in the comments down below. If you had some highlights from 2024 or some big goals for 2025, leave those in the comments below too. And if you're going to be at OrcaCon or at the World Series of Board Gaming, leave that down below too. I'd love to connect with you and hopefully meet in person. As always, thanks for watching. This is BillyIndiana, signing off.